بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome you back in your episode of Fatwa on Air. The first question, the questioner is asking, we have a sister in our community. Her husband passed away about 1 year and he left 6 kids. So we gathered for her a big amount of money. After a year, she paid the Zakat al-Mal. Whomever owned money and the year came pass by, then they have to, whether it was a gift, it was charity and beginning, whatever everybody, they have to pay the charity on it. And the amount of Zakat, it's 2.5%, and the Nisab, which is anything, the amount of 85 grams of gold. Maybe in our, it's almost $4,000, or a little bit less. Important issue here: how much you give the charity there is from the Zakat. There is nothing that gives you the amount. There is no ceiling that you shouldn't go beyond or less. From the scholars who did it, that you give him what's enough for him for 1 year. Abu Hamid al-Ghazali said, because beyond that it is danger and belong is tight on them. He said the average, or he think that you should spend on the film, which is enough for 1 year. That he will be enough. What takes him from the need to not asking. So he's given the tools to work, and you have to make the needy and the poor to give them employment. It's not to make them very rich, but to make sure that they don't come back and ask again. By trying to find innovative Muslim minds to find ways to ease the hardship on people and find solutions, financial solutions for the needy. From the things that are suggested, there is extra from the Zakah money that was not given to the needy. Can you invest it in that will bring more money? It will be a waqf for the poor and needy. They allow that. They put conditions though. First, you have to give the needs, and take the enough guarantee to stay away from the loss. So if there is leftover money from Zakah money, let's use it for to make some kind of investment that can bring more income that support the needy and the poor. And this is as far as the people are in charge of the Zakah money. Also, we can make the poor, we give him a small project that he owns it, or he will direct it. This way it will be an employment for him. Or could give him a car, or give him to work on Uber or taxi. This is a way of using that money to give, as Umar summarizes, he said, if you give, so make it enough. The medicine that has gelatin, usually it's from pig. Can you take it?
طبعا عندنا قضية
We have two issues here.
كلمة غالبا
Say, we're not sure that it's pig. It could be, but most likely it will be. So there's a possibility that could be a change from the first condition became something else.
تغير الخواص
A change of the characters, the physical and chemical, and it becomes like a different form, different thing. Then it does not have the character that is forbidden and the rules of the first one.
يعني على كل حال لسنا محققين
So we're not certain there is the change. They're still going back and forth between the experts as far as gelatin goes. So it becomes one of the doubtful. Let there is a need, something that's so important. So there is no other alternative from other medicine, but you need to see if there is alternative. You have to be guarding yourself. But if this is the only source, that's it. خلاص. We don't know if this from big first or is it a change from one condition to another. So it's still a research going on that part. But if you found another alternative that you are sure it is halal, then you go for the certain things. And if it's not there and you are about something of a necessity, so I hope there is no problem at all. One of our brothers saying, if a person gave someone else to give the Zakat al-Fitr on his behalf, and he gave him the money after Eid, is that okay? Or you have to do it before Eid? You need to know, Barakallahu fik, that Sadaq Fitr, it has to be taken out before Eid prayers. From the Hadith of Abu Dawud and Majah, whomever did it before the prayers, it is Zakah accepted. Whomever did it after, then it is a charity, regular charity. You cannot deny it, delay it from the day of Eid. And it could be known for you forever. And it is on the inheritance as well. So to delay it from the day of Eid, no. Now, you look at different of this representative and your relationship. If you believe that you have given him, that he's going to do it immediately in his money, and then he will you owe him the money of the value, that's no problem. Like you said, somebody, oh please take pay my zakah, he did, and then you have to pay him later. But if he does not give it until he got the money, then you have a real problem. You have to give it to him before that allows him to take it out, not when right before the prayer. No, you have to be able to do before the prayer. I mean. Is it okay to pay Zakat al-Fitr money? We have answered this several times. That originally that it has to be food. The Prophet ﷺ, he obligated the Zakat al-Fitr of sa' of food. Purification of the person who fasted, and it is food for the poor and needy. If the interest of the needy is more of the value, that's the Ahnaf and Amr ibn al-Aziz and a lot of good scholars. So if there's a need, it's better to do it with the money. We've said if we had coupons of zakah where people could buy the money, the food that he wants or the time he wants, that he likes, then we have gained what is needed. I have a question here. The fatwa in to use a cream that has alcohol. Can you pray? It has, the cream has alcohol and think it's filthy, and you have to remove it from your body before you pray. Can he pray or not? The answer in the decision of international jurist in the 22nd conference, that alcohol is not filthy. It is disputed, but their decision that is not filthy, because that everything is pure, whether it is alcohol or reduced in water. So nothing wrong of using alcohol in medicine to clear the creams, to kill the germs, or in the perfume or the cologne. That's going to dissolve the so many things. And this is different from the khamr, the wine. So it is okay. Can you pay zakat al-fitr in Egypt? You pay it wherever you need, and it's okay if you take it to a country that is in need, or relatives who deserve it. There's nothing wrong with that, inshallah. Different Jum'ah because of Corona. Is the first group better than the second one? There should be an adhan before the khatib. The khatib had to stand the member, and then there's an adhan. And every Jum'ah. Of course, the first one is better. And Jum'ah is for whoever came early. How about is the mixing during in relief organization? Some it's forbidden, some is allowed. You have to have details. Sometimes they have to be in open spaces. They are mixing between going back in MCIS, Safa Marwa, and around the Kaaba. And there's any, so no problem with that in that time. But to make it obligated, so we could say we are developed. This is something different that we need to stay away from it. Whatever is needed, the special interest, we try to. They have the hijab, no glazing of the eyes. But if you work in a hospital, for example, and that already exists, whether you like it or not, this is not your controlled environment. That's not your decision. So you deal with the fact that it existed, which is to reduce the harm as much as you can, and to increase the goodness as much as you can. These are, but in our institution that we have the control, we don't obligate the mixing. Only if there is a need for it, then you look at the according to the rules of Islam. Ameen. Another zakat fitr, is it with the value of the you live or with the original country? If you take food, you take it on the area where you want to pay it. You say take zakah 3 sa', 10 sa', 20, it depends on how many people. So he will buy it from the local money. You don't feed your people with $1. You take it with the medium of what you do. So whatever you do with yourself, that's what you do with the poor and needy. And think that you are smart. Ameen. Ameen. A beautiful name. I work in a contractor. I told him I'll buy steel at that day, this price. He's half price, and I'll do that. So I will sell it that part with a higher price. We became partners in half and half. And I tell him my half, I make condition that I will sell it to you that is going to be this high. This is riba. To have the guarantee on this is not a partnership, this is a loan. I'm trying to trick Allah Azza wa Jal. So you don't put a price to your partner's name. We have to on the time of selling. In Islamic conference, in its 5th conference in Muscat, from the thing that allow partnership that goes to ownership, not to guarantee to buy one of the other partners' share with the same share when you started, because you are guaranteeing the share of your partner. You have to decide the value with the S value and market value, or at the time of selling. To send women to study in a different state with no mahram. If you find the right trusted friendship from, of course, females. If there's not, then shouldn't. But the good friendship that you guarantee the safety of your daughter is okay. But I want you to think twice. It's not about traveling. The whole idea that you send your daughters to live isolated from you with no family taken care of. This is something require a lot of thinking. Know where your foot is going to go before you put it down. The smart person who learns from the others, not with himself and his own life experiences. Very hard question. The woman is asking. A friend of mine, she had a problem with her husband. She needs a quick consultation. Her husband stopped praying and fasting and worship Allah Azza wa Jalla about a long time ago, back talking 2 to 3 years, and he refused to talk about religion at all. And will fight with his wife, so his daughters do not fast, and he makes big problems in Ramadan because of this issue, even though it was normal before. Why? Because he recite, he hears a lot about atheism, and he spent a lot of times on atheism that shook his faith. So it's not like he is stopping the prayers out of laziness. No. He's convinced of the atheist way, and that he don't praise Islam or any religion. He do not desert his wife from sleeping with her. I have no respect for her because she pray, and he refused to let anybody to go in. So she's asking, does she stay with him? And she cannot survive by herself. If she is patient, maybe Allah will change his mind, but she don't really think that. He did not leave the prayers and the fasting as a laziness. No, he knew. And he is disputing the people who fast, and he is putting a reflection on his daughters, and he wants to force them to leave the prayers. And this is, of course, reverting from the religion. If this introduction is true, and she is not extreme in showing her side of the story. So we are about someone who reverted from Islam. The marriage will stay only at the time of Iddah. If he came back to Islam, then they're still married. But if it is finished and he did not come to Islam, so she is easy of her decision. After she leaves him in bed completely, and she wears the hijab in front of him, she wants to wait and make prayers for him. It is okay. If she wanted to divorce to see her situation, it's her decision. The main thing that she, soon as that time is done, it's not obligatory. She could continue patient on the condition that if Allah guides her to Islam, she will continue her life with him. But her right, without a doubt, to find a way to get out of the civilian marriage, and she needs to prove in front of one of the masajid so they could make her a divorce and this is fasq.
فرق على عقد الزواج ما يمكن الإنسان كما لو ارتد أحد الزوجين أو الإسلام
Just like if one of the two revert to Islam, then they will wipe the marriage.
خلال المركز الإسلامي والمركز الإسلامي
And the Islamic institution,
إلا
he will do it after the divorce paper from the court. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to help her and give her the patience and to find her an ease out of what she had. Ameen.
اللهم إنا عذابك
ولا أحمل
هل يجوز إعطاء فوائد البنوك الربوية
تمساح.
الذي عليه الفوائد كلها مرارا
Can we take the
أكلها ولا يلزم
interest in the bank? You can't use it because it's filthy money. You can't leave it for the to the financial institutions where they could use it against Islam.
لا يطيب أكله ولا يلزم رده إنما تأخذها
So you take it, you put it in any public one of it, you pay debt of somebody close to you,
ولا يأثم
and he don't get sent for it, because the one who used the riba is the one who pay the price with Allah. Ameen. And we have a question. Ameen. The question is asking, good brother, on his religion. He waited for the answer a long time. May Allah reward him for his patience. His question is, I work and I own shares in a service company, financial service company. Until now, don't take the Islamic way into financial, but in some of the products, yes, and shouldn't follow the Islamic ways, nor does they take care of from. So do I still invest with that company and try to maybe take it to a different company? First of all, thank you for your concern about the halal and haram. And this is the most thing that people need to be stressed on after the monotheism of Allah Azza wa Jal, and to do the fourth pillars after that of religion. And nowadays, where the riba is everywhere, and the hadith of Abu Hurairah, there will be time of people, there's no one except that he ate the riba. If he didn't, then he have been touched by its dust. So if you don't eat it, he will reach by its dust. He said that it's our time. So we all belong to Allah, we should be back to Him. Alayhi salatu wassalam. So Imam Sindi been saying it from a long time ago. What do you think of our time, that you have the riba and everything? The answer, that all depends when do you think of the success of that time. if you think
للأسباب وللمعطيات أن يلين
that
الشركاء بيدك
the partners will be lenient when you start with that, and they will help you in it,
أحب إلى الله
because there is nothing better than to do enjoy what is good and forbid what is evil,
والسعي إلى تبطين
and to rush to
المشروعات
bring the
لكن
but if you started your matter not now,
وبغلبة ظن بالخير ثم
with the good assumption of goodness, and it's not like what you wanted, and you have hardship, so you have to withdraw, ask Allah's forgiveness.
وقل لي عملي ولكم عملكم أنتم بريئون مما أعمل وأنا بريء مما في هذه الفترة
At that time,
الانتقالية ينبغي أن تطهر
you have to beautify your money.
المقابل بالنسبة للحرام من هذا العمل. نحن الآن
Now, we just talk about the introduction.
حلال وجزء الأصل أن ندخل فيه غير مشروع.
To enter this is unallowed. The difference between someone goes into a company, but to be an establisher and decision maker, because you are a decision maker, so you should not to stop between the truth and to support it. So here we are about the project that if you thought you wanted the goodness, so we hope that
الاستصلاح التدريجي للأمور أرجو أن يخرج عن هي داخل الأبواب والخير والجهاد والعمل بالمعروف بالمبارك مع هذه النية على أن تحافظ
so we have to have the intention
ابتداء
in the beginning and continuously,
الناس من يبتدي بالنية صالحة
because somebody must start with a good intention, halfway is done,
أثناء السير والبعيد مع الدخل
and he's looking at the income, not looking at what is permissible or forbidden.
الغالب على مثل هذا فساد النيات. إن حافظت على النية ابتداء ودواما وضعتها نصب عينيك
So if you put your attention in everything,
والميزان الذي تقرر به مواقفك تكمل ولا ترجع. أنا أرجو أن يكون
so I hope that
يسير من الفجر.
you have a share in goodness, inshallah.
إذا تعثرت الدنيا
If this became hard
وجاءت على خلاف ما تشاء
and it was against what you thought,
بعمل
say I have my own work and you have your own.
أنتم بريئون مما
You are free from what I do and I'm free from what you do.
مما تعملون. يبقى في وجهي شبه من قال الله تعالى فيهم وإذا رأيت الذين يخوضون في آياتنا فأعرض عنهم حتى يخوضوا في حديث غيره. إذا بدأوا
So if they start doing something forbidden
لم يستمعوا إلى الله
and they don't listen to an advisor and warner, didn't help the good doers, establish the justice and fairness, establish the religion on earth. Allah said that He had descended on you the book that if you hear the sons of Allah is being disbelieved, don't sit with them until they go to something different. Otherwise you're like with them, and Allah will gather the hypocrites and the disbelievers in Jahannam. Inshallah we'll answer questions later. Even though it's built on this, inshallah. We'll continue, inshallah. A question a lot of brothers, they put on the air lectures, but some of them they're not. They do their own. The one if you made good on one of the hadith, it is okay to deliver that, but you have to learn. Knowledge is with learning. Make sure that you do the ri'ayah before riwayah, meaning you have to do it slowly, you have to understand it, benefit from it, from you, what you have learned. So you learn from the scholars. Today the open universities are everywhere. You can, through email, you can do it from your own bedroom. You could follow an Islamic institution and get Islamic knowledge. So I hope that you utilize this investment that Allah to you. Then I said several times that I find a way of what the Prophet ﷺ said, that this religion will reach what day and night reaches, and there will be no house of hair or rubber or wool that will enter it with the honor or dishonor of a person. We have a message from Somal today. He is very grateful that these lectures, when it came this way, people are benefit from it in Somal and other places. This is from Allah's goodness. So whatever people do, Allah the Almighty will fulfill His religion, and He will reach the delivery to the form that He likes. What Allah gives people from goodness, no one will hold back, and whatever He gives, no one can take it back. I never thought that people from Somalia are benefit from what we are saying, and they gather people on it and they listen to it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah we'll continue tomorrow, inshallah Rabbil Alameen. May Allah guide us and increase our guidance. Ameen.
محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.